information? Is this like hitting some bells for you? Raul Berg's research suggests that our brain's performance ability, it begins to decline in our 20s and our 30s. So Dr. Heidi Hanna, she's the author of Sharp, Simple Strategies to Boost Your Brain Power. She's here with strategies to make our lives more focused. Oh, Dr. Hanna, I'm so happy to see you. I think about this all the time, not only for myself, but I see other people that sometimes you just wonder what's going up over here.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on up there.
Yeah, but sometimes not so much. What are we doing? I mean, your book talks about feeding your brain and how to make this muscle very strong.
Right. I love that you said that it's a muscle, because
it's a muscle.
That's exactly what I talk about. So just like our body, which atrophies if we don't work it out, the brain is the same thing. And unfortunately, it starts to atrophy in our 20s, as you mentioned.
20s.
And it takes up until about 20 to fully form. So that's kind of a sad thought, that we get our brain finally working and then it starts to slow us down.
But what actually happens to our brains at 20s then? Well, I mean, is it deteriorating? What's going on?
No, it's actually, we go through what's called neural pruning, which is actually important. We have to get rid of some information to make sure that the information that we want, that we have access to it.
Okay.
So imagine if every experience you had over your life you remembered and you thought about on a regular basis. You'd be totally overwhelmed by that, right?
Yes.
So we want to forget some information. The key, though, is how do we access the things that are most important to us? And the problem that most of us are facing, you and I were talking about sleep, is that if we don't take care of this muscle, if we don't really feed it the right nutrients, if we don't exercise it both with physical activity and with mental exercise, it's just not going to be able to keep up with the demands.
Okay, so how do you exercise this muscle? Because we go to the gym and I can lift some weights and do that, but you can't. How do you do it with this?
So to keep it really easy for people, what I did in the book is I broke it down into the dimensions of cognitive fitness. So most people know physical fitness, you're supposed to have strength, so you lift weights. You want to have flexibility, so you do stretching exercises. You want to have endurance, so you do cardiovascular exercise. So there's similar exercises for the brain, such as doing distraction.
Can we do one?
We can, actually.
Okay, let's do one.
Okay.
Raul, Chrissy, you too, because we get up
ready
at
for
2 in the
this?
morning and we need to exercise our muscles. Go ahead.
I'm actually going to give you my favorite, which is really simple to do. And it's going to give you the quickest boost of optimism.
Okay, everybody at home do it too. Okay, here we go.
Boost of optimism?
Yeah, boost of optimism.
Oh, I need that a lot.
I like
Let's go.
you. I've heard that about you,
He's a
Ro.
major boost. Let's go. I love it. Okay.
So easy to do. I want you to just think of 3 things that you're grateful for that happened to you this morning.
Oh,
now, even better if you can share it
This
with someone
morning?
else, so I'm going to have you share that with me.
3 things that
3 things that you're grateful for that happened today.
I got a hug from someone on the floor, Javon on the floor.
Great.
I didn't get hit by the drunk driver that was driving next to me on the road, and Chrissy let me use her ball to massage my back.
Great.
Okay.
Great. So, just a couple of seconds, right?
Raul, stop making
and
faces.
just by thinking about the things that we're thankful for, what happens is our brains actually really focus on negative. Our tendency is to focus on the threats to our survival. So we focus on bad things all day long and putting out fires. So starting your day thinking about something positive,
I like that.
puts you in a more optimistic
Because it
state.
just made me all happy right now while Raul's over there making a face.
Great. That's great. Everyone can thank me for that later.
I got it.
What?
I got
You got it, Chrissy?
Yeah, I felt the difference.
Okay.
I felt the change, but I felt it kind of like here too. You know, I didn't just feel.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel it here. I felt it kind of like
This is too
here.
much for Raul.
Right.
This is too much
You're
for
still
Raul.
thinking about it.
Well, maybe we could explain monkey brain to Raul. Does that have to do with Raul? Monkey brain? What's monkey brain?
I'm still thinking. Go ahead.
The brain is actually divided into 3 segments. The first one's the most basic, which is called the lizard brain. I know it sounds awful, but this is what all animals have in common.
Okay.
It's how we react to things. So
Okay.
it's more like a knee-jerk reaction. Something happens to us and we just react.
Okay, that's lizard.
So that's the first one, the most basic. Then as you kind of move outward in the brain, you have what's called the monkey brain, which is my favorite because I love monkeys. And it's when we actually act a little bit like a monkey, ironically, because we are basing our what we do and what we say on emotion. So it's very emotional. So someone says something negative to you and you get caught up in the emotion and you react. It's also where we spend most of our time when we're multitasking, which unfortunately most people multitask on a regular basis. So
Dr. Hanna, I wish we could talk about this all day long. This is good stuff.
Well, thank you.
We got to read your book then.
read the book.
Read the
absolutely,
book.
Absolutely.
Read the book because it'll talk a lot about what you can do with this muscle that we call the brain. So to learn more about the SHARP program and strategies to to boost your brain power, just go to our website, fox5sandiego.com. You click the Scene on tab. Dr. Hanna, thank you for being here.
Thank you
Good
so
stuff.
much.
Raul, what is one thing that you are thankful for and happy about today?